Hi, friends. How are you today? It's Peggy Noe from prettypapercards.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I'm here with my little Yorkshire Terrier, Ellie, on this Friday before Memorial Day, a 3-day weekend. Hello, hello. Um, I think everybody's excited for a 3-day weekend, don't you? I really do. We just needed it. I don't know why, but we just did. So I'm gonna check on to make sure everything's working here and see if I am live. I am good. I see that we're going, so that's great. Ah, 3-day weekend. What do you guys plan to do? Hello, Hilda Mossy, and let me just check here. Crystal, hello, Crystal. How are you? Have you been on before? If so, I don't really remember, but we welcome you. Welcome, welcome. And be sure, Crystal, that you put the word prize, because if you put the word prize today, next week I will award a prize to everybody who put the word prize today. And that's a good thing. Let me get my glasses on. Jan, good to see you. And Roz, yes. You know, Ellie has kept the same bow. I've been, Vicky, good to see you from Arizona. I've kept her same bow on her. I've brushed her. I've been working at brushing her every night so that Tina, good to see you from North Carolina. I've been working on brushing her every night when she's kind of sleepy, trying to get her more used to the good. Everybody's putting prize. Trying to get her more used to the brush. Margaret from Australia, how are you? Good morning to you. Anyway, so I just keep putting that same bow in because I kind of like it. Kay Phipps, good to see you. So she's getting much more used to her brushing, and I'm just going to keep it up. Thank you for sharing, Kay. Yeah, way to go, Ellie. I don't know. I found the secret. I've been looking for the secret of. I do brush her, but not every day, and so she gets fidgety. But now I found the right time of day, right when she's getting sleepy, and that seems to work great. Sharon Sukahara, good to see you, Sharon. How are you? So it's lovely here. Not that hot. Actually, it's a bit humid. It's 68 right now, and a little humid, and most of the day has been gray. And I think you've got 8% humidity, Vicky. Oh my goodness, with 97 degrees. Yeah, that's dry. We get that later in the summer. But I think I've mentioned that in May and June, we have this, what they call the onshore flow in San Diego, and it's clouds. And so we call it May gray and June gloom. And the sun doesn't come out, like it's just now coming out here, and it's 4 o'clock. It's been gray all day. But then starting usually in July, boom. And then we have Santa Ana's and really hot weather. So anyway, we've had a nice quiet day. So what are you guys going to do this weekend? I am going to be cleaning. It's beautiful, says Roz, in Florida, not humid in the air-conditioned house, right? So I wanted to show you guys what I like to drink. This is, let me see if I can turn it around correctly. It's a Pellegrino with no calories, which I always like. It's called Dark Morello Cherry and Pomegranate, and it's just sparkling water. It's without a color. But I really like it. Renee, good to see you. Anyway, I really like this, so I thought I'd show you the can today. I'm going to clean the house. Carol Schaefer, good to see you. I've got 3 days to give the house a good cleaning. Oh, storming in Texas. Wow. Marsha Long, storming. Yeah, I know you guys have had some bad weather. Becky Schlossnagel, hello, good to see you. So anyway, I'm going to do some cleaning over the 3-day weekend. I want to try to get the whole house clean. And I'm going to work on the Faith Creations class. that people pre-ordered. I got my box a couple days ago. I haven't even had a chance to open my box from Stampin' Up. I've been so busy. So this weekend, in addition to cleaning, I'm going to get together all the Faith Creations classes to get out next week. So although it's going to be relaxing, it's going to be busy. And I hope you guys make some cards this weekend. I do. Just relax and make some cards. That's the most peaceful thing to me, really, is one of the most peaceful things, is just to sit and create. And I'm going to show you a design today that you could use. Oh, she's trying to go to sleep. Okay, I'm going to put her down so she can take her little nap. And we'll get started with some announcements because I want to have plenty of time for our card. So our news, getting ready for a trip to Delaware to see grandkids. Oh, that is so much fun. I mean, everybody loves that, right? Totally, to see the grandkids. You got to do it. Okay. I had this all written down, so it was going to go just perfectly as far as my nope, I had written this all down just like Roz said, and it's not going perfectly. There we go. Okay, got it. Okay, so I want to talk to you again because we only have 1 week left of this amazing starter kit special. And I know I had a question about a hobby demonstrator, and I wanted to explain that. I mean, it's just a term that some of us use. It's not like an official term or anything, but I'm like a demonstrator. I really do what they call the business because, you know, I really demonstrate to you and sell the product. But many people don't. In fact, a majority of my team are what we call hobby demonstrators. I would love for you to sell the product, but if you just want to buy the product for yourself, that's why I always talk about it, because it's the best way. You save the most on the products you love. So when you are a demonstrator, in other words, after you get the starter kit, you get 20% off all the Stampin' Up! Products. And you guys know, I mean, we all shop to get the lowest price, and this is how to get the lowest price on Stampin' Up! Products. So once you get the starter kit, from that point on, every order you place, you'll get 20% off. And you can be a demonstrator for 3 months. And with every quarter, you need to sell or buy $300 in product. But when you first join, like now, we are in May. And so a quarter is April, May, June. So that your first quarter is like free. In other words, it doesn't count. So your first official quarter will be July, August, September. So that's why I say you can get the starter kit, join as a demonstrator. You have all the way to September to get products at 20% off. And if you don't sell or buy the $300 limit, or it's not really a top limit, it's like a minimum limit, then you go into pending for a month. So that's the month of October, and then you would be dropped at the end of October. So basically you can get all the products for 20% off until October of this year. It's just kind of what I call a no-brainer. And I spread everything out here today to show you what you get with the starter kit. And Sasan, good to see you. This is what is so special about this particular starter kit special, which only lasts until a week from today, you guys, 1 week from today. So normally you pay $99 for your starter kit. You get $125 in Stampin' Up! Product of your choice. You choose what you want for up to $125. You pay $99 for it, and it ships free. The starter kit ships free. But during the month of May, for 1 more week, you will get all of this that I'm showing you here for free, on top of everything else still for $99. You get a whole package of the new, beautiful new in color designer series paper. I'm pretty sure it's 40 different sheets. You get a whole package of that. You get a package of 20 pieces of new in color cardstock. So you have the cardstock, you have the designer series paper, and as I mentioned before, you get 5 full-size ink pads, one of each new in color, and you get a Stampin' Up! Stampin' Right marker in each new in color. So all of that stuff comes with your starter kit for only $99 during the month of May. It's a value of, someone figured it out, $247 for $99. And then from that point on, everything you order from Stampin' Up! Is 20% off. Except maybe some supply items or something, but all the products, you would get 20% off your products until October. And what I find happens, people love it so much they just stay because they get so many wonderful ideas, they get so many wonderful products at a discount. They love it, and which is what I loved and why I joined Stampin' Up! So I just wanted to go over that where you could really see everything because it's so pretty. And I just like kind of laying it out. I love these colors. These are my favorite in colors in a very long time. Okay, whoops. I'm just going to put this stuff down and we are going to get started. So I thought today that we might make a Memorial Day card. And this is the card we're going to make. And it could be, you could use any colors, but I used red, white, and blue, and I added in some yellow just as a little extra touch. You know, I read a little blurb about Memorial Day, and Veterans Day honors the veterans, all veterans. I think maybe more so living veterans, but Memorial Day honors those who were in service, and I believe it's, someone correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's the people who died in the service of our country, military people who passed away while they were wearing the uniform and in service to our country. My dad was in World War II, and I know that some of you have relatives, men and women who have been in the military. And so I just felt like I'm going to put this up on Monday. I will post this on my blog on Monday because I just felt like I wanted to somehow join in honoring the military on Memorial Day and not think of it just as a 3-day holiday, which it is, and we all love that. But I wanted to just give a little remembrance of what it really is. So this is what we're going to make. And we're going to use today, this is a stamp set, a bundle actually, that was a carryover product from the prior catalog, and it's called Hooray for Surprises. And I just really like the flowers. I think it's a daisy, but I'm not 100% sure, but I like the flower. And so I wanted to use this flower. And it has a die. Right here is the flower die, and it has a couple of leaves that we're going to use. But one thing I wanted to show you, so this design, this piece with 3 strips, I'm doing it because it's the design challenge for the Global Design Project this week. Yes, Ross, thank you. That's what I had read too. Memorial Day honors those who have given their lives in service to our country. Yes. So this is the design for the challenge for the Global Design Project this week, which I always like to do. Karen, good to see you. Cherie, good to see you. But one thing I wanted to show you about this design is in our catalog, and I just am so excited I can open it. You know, I go like a month where I can't even open this for you because I get it early, and I just love that we get to look at it together. But I've talked to you about this before, but I wanted to remind you on page 22 of the catalog, and let me get it. I don't know if I can get it. Here we go. Okay, so you can see this, although they're small down here. If you have a catalog, you might look at page 22. Who's that? Cherie, yes, Cherie, thank you so much. From Indiana, Southeast Indiana. Um, these are designs. I'm pretty sure there are 20, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 22 different card designs for you. They don't have the inches and stuff, but someone did do a printout with inches. If any of you want it, email me, Peggy@prettypapercards.com, and I can email it to you. It's a pretty long document because it had 22 pages. But all of these are different designs that you can use if you kind of run out of a card design or want a new card design. And I thought, oh goodness, this is on this design, the box or rectangle with the 3 strips, that's on the Global Design Project this week. I wonder if it's here in our designs, and sure enough, it is. They are coming out with the physical color wheel. Yes, they are. Who asked that? Karen, yes. Oh, in Australia, Margaret's saying it's called Anzac Day, and you remember people who served during the month of April. Interesting. And to answer Karen, yes, they're coming out with the color wheel. They hope it'll be out before the end of the year, because that was another wonderful resource in this catalog. I've never seen a catalog that had the great resources that this one does, like the card designs and the color wheel. Okay, back to the designs. Right here, the third one is very similar to what we're doing here. And so I thought I'd bring that to your attention. Design number 3 on the top row is very similar. And I think that's great because, you have a stamp set and you're thinking, oh my goodness, what am I going to, how am I going to make it? You have one from back in the day, a color wheel. Would love to get a current one because I can't coordinate black and white, Karen. I think you're meaning the color wheel, or are you meaning the patterns, the designs? Okay, so the nice thing about this card is that it starts out with a basic white. Anzac means Australia and New Zealand. Oh, okay. So I'm going to get out. Let's start making our card. I just love it because we learned so many wonderful things here from all of you. You're all so knowledgeable about everything. So this is your standard card base, 8.5 by 5.5, and we're going to score it here at 4 1/4. I'm just going to set my paper trimmer off to the side for just a minute while I fold my card. Let me get my glasses back on. And it's always nice when you start with a basic white card base. Color wheel, okay, yes. I like starting with the basic white because then you don't have to put a piece of basic white on the inside, right? Okay, so the next thing we're going to add is some of the real red to make the rectangle that the strips sit on. And so if you want to write it down, the dimensions for the real red rectangle are 3 inches by 4 1/4. So 3 by 4 1/4, just like that. Okay. And then we want to cut the strips, and I'm actually using a piece of the Mediterranean Blooms, I think it's called, designer series paper. Yeah, Mediterranean Blooms. But on the reverse, look at what a pretty blue and white, navy and white pattern that is. I thought that would go so well. So I'm going to cut, this is a 12-inch strip, and I'm going to cut it 3/4 wide. Our strips are going to be 3/4 by 4. So I'm just going to cut 3/4 there, and then I'll get my 3 strips from the 12 inches, each strip being 4. So there's 1, and here is 2 and 3. Okay, that was pretty easy. I think that might be all that I need my paper trimmer for. So now what we have is our rectangle and our 3 strips. And then you think, oh my gosh, how am I going to get those even on this paper? That was my thought, because it sounds like numbers to me, and numbers always freak me out. Unless they work on the calculator. So what I figured out, first of all, it's best to put the first two on and then put the third one in the center afterward. So you can see that the two end ones, all the pieces, all the strips look best just about 1/8 of an inch from the top and 1/8 of an inch from the bottom. So I'm going to put the first one on, and then I'll do the one on the right, the same distance from the edge on the right side, and that should take care of any issues. So I'm just going to put it right here, about 1/8 of an inch down and 1/8 of an inch across. I mean, 1/8 of an inch down and 1/8 of an inch up. And then that is about the distance I want to leave there on the left. I don't know what that is, but whatever it is, you know, just do the same thing on the left and the right. It'll come out. I was all kind of freaked out about it, and then it just comes out perfectly. Nobody's going to know any different. And then this one, we just do the same thing. And again, that is why I love my glue so much, because you can move it around. So now I can look and move the little right one just a bit up, and I can look to see, do I have it the same distance from the left and the right? And I think I do. From the edge on the left and the right. You know what I mean. So now all we have to do is put our center one in, and because we're doing it last, it's gonna work perfectly. Okay, here we go. Put this little guy in. The only thing to really pay attention to is, again, same distance at the top and the bottom, on the left and the right, and look at that. I mean, I'm sure it could be off a hair, but I think it looks pretty good. Don't you think? Yeah, I do too. So now that is the main piece of our card. That's the real kind of subject of our card. And it's just going to go right in the center like that. But I'm not going to glue it down yet or adhere it yet, because I'm going to put some baker's twine on it. I like to put, I like to use baker's twine and ribbon. I really do. So what I'm going to do is wrap it around twice, wrap it around this piece, and leave a tail. Okay, so I'm going to go around once and twice, just like that, and pull it a bit so there aren't any, so it's kind of tight. And what I'm going to do to make my knot is I'm going to slip that piece down under the other piece so that the knot is going to pull both pieces of twine together. And I know it looks odd. We can tighten it up as soon as I get it under here. Let me just get it down under here. Of course, when I'm doing it on the camera, it looks funny. Let's see. I'm not sure if this is going to come out. Let's try it. Yeah. Nope, not right. Okay, one more try. You know, you think we don't get nervous when we are doing this, but we actually do. I do. I get a little bit nervous if I have to do something and it's not working out. I think everybody does. Okay, do I have it now? Oh, right, it's still tied over here. Here we go. We've got all kinds of stuff going on. You can just giggle a little bit if you want to. Okay, here we go. Okay, that's all we have to do, and then we're going to tie a knot. It's just slippery, and especially when it comes off the spool, it's a little curly, and the knot itself is going to tighten it up like that. I'll go on it twice. Oh, thank you, Cindy, for sharing. Good to see you from North Dakota. How's your weather there, Cindy? Okay, so now we've got our baker's twine tied around. And you know, I did want to say a little something. So baker's twine is different from, or rather linen thread sorry, this is linen thread. I had baker's twine on my mind. If you get a package of the assorted baker's twine, or I think it's called the basic baker's twine, here's what you get. You get, I believe you get 5. Those of you who haven't know, you'll get these 5 pieces of baker's twine. But this is actually called linen thread, and it's different. I guess it's made of linen. I'm not 100% sure, but it's a different color and it's a different texture than the baker's twine. And when you start working with it, you can really tell. These would work fine, but for some reason, I just really like linen thread. I think I might have been calling it baker's twine in the beginning because I had that on my mind to tell you. But linen thread is something I really like to use. And so I used it here. And I also, thinking about the military or something, I thought it looked a little bit, in a way, khaki. So, oh, Cindy, in the last 24 hours, we've had lots of rain, which is good for everyone. Okay, great. So now we can put this down on our card base, and we're going to use dimensionals, because I want the ability to slide things under it if I want to, and also to raise it up because we have the linen thread down there. Okay, and I want to make sure this doesn't move because, as you saw, we're going to attach some things to it, and I don't want it going anywhere. This is, you know, really the main part of our card. This is the main part of the design. So just for reference, you could make this out of any colors that you have in any designer series papers that you have. I think this design is really pretty. So now we just need to get it on here, pretty much centered everywhere, like that. Okay, now there's the basis of everything. Now we get to put the pretty things on top. So let's get started with that. I've got a scratch piece of, or not scratch, but a piece of basic white. And we're going to make one yellow flower and one daffodil delight flower and 2 real red flowers. So I'm going to start out with the real red. And here's the stamp. It's a photopolymer stamp from the set Hooray for Surprises. And so I'm going to stamp 2 of these. Aren't they beautiful? I just think they're so pretty. I really like them. And then we're going to cut them out with the die. But in between, in order to go from bright red to real red to daffodil delight, we're going to have to clean our stamp. So I have my Stamp and Scrub right here to use. And this is what I prefer to clean my stamps with. It's called the Stamp and Scrub. And inside it has these pads that are kind of rough, almost like, they're kind of like artificial grass, artificial turf. Maybe not quite so harsh. And then you spray the Stamp and Mist on it. And I'm going to clean my flower on that side, and then on the other side I'm going to dry it over here so it's all ready for my Daffodil Delight ink. Okay, so now we're ready to go ahead and stamp a Daffodil Delight flower. Karen, good to see you. Hello, hello. So here's our Daffodil Delight. That one's very pretty too. In fact, I'm going to leave this open because what I'm going to do, as long as we have this out, I'm going to stamp the inside of my card with also a Daffodil Delight flower because I think it's very pretty. And I'm going to also stamp my envelope with a Daffodil Delight flower. I've got all kinds of little pieces, parts in there for us to use here in a minute, but I'm going to stamp the left side of the envelope, and then we'll be done with our stamping except for the sentiment. I'm going to put this right here on the edge. Pressing down kind of hard because I want to make sure it shows. Isn't that just the prettiest flower? I mean, just that flower in the Daffodil Delight makes me happy. It just makes me, I don't know, it just makes me happy. Okay, so now what we're going to do, we're ready now to cut our flower with the coordinating die. I'm going to bring in my little mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, and I'm going to cut each of our little flowers so we can run it through 3 times with our die. And here are the dies. The 3 dies we're using today are this one, the flower die, and these 2 leaves, okay? So let's get started. Let me put it where you guys can see it, okay? Now, I wondered in the beginning if I would know how to get this on the right petal. And I figured out to find the fattest one. And then where did I find the fattest one here? Let's see if it works. I'm not sure. It didn't. Okay, where else is the fattest one? Because that's what I did earlier and it worked just perfectly. But now, of course, now it's not working. There we go. You just turn it around a little bit until you get the right angle. And there's one. I just think these are so bright. I love it when you guys are talking to each other on there. You're all friends. I love that. I love that. It's like a little community. Some demonstrators were talking about, I heard some demonstrators talking about, is online the same as in person? You know, with regard to forming relationships and friends. And the person they were talking to said, absolutely. And I so agree. I think I've made wonderful online friends, and some of them are you right here on my live today. You can make wonderful friends online and in these types of groups because we have fun, we chat with each other, we know stuff. Not stuff, but we know stuff about each other, where we're from and our pets and all of that. So let me see here. I need to do a thing where I have a little, I have a little niche or something on the stamp. They used to do that for us for a while. I'll get it. Hold on. It'll show up here in just a minute. We'll get it. Okay, I'm going to do this. Let's see about this. Nope. We'll get it. You know, I'm sorry. There we go. Nope, that's not it either. Just keep turning until we get it, or I'll have to cut it myself. How did I find it the first time and not this time? All right, look for the fat one. Fat. Where are the fat ones? Maybe those are the fat ones. Pretty close, but not exact. Okay, no. I just about have it and then it's not. I thought I had this figured out. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm going to have to go back and do that and put a little niche there because it really is not, I don't know. Okay, wait a minute. There, no. I just think I get it and then I don't. There we go. We got it. Yay. I'm going to do that. You know what? I am. You use the permanent marker. That's what I'm going to have to do, Renee, and put a dot on the stamp and the die. I'm going to have to. When I was working before, when I made it earlier today, it worked out just great. But, you know, Now, I've got some Daffodil Delight, and we're going to cardstock, and we're going to cut a couple of leaves. I have pre-cut quite a few, and then we're going to put our card together. We'll just cut these two, and then we'll be ready to go. Okay, we can put this little guy over. And I really do like the leaves in this die set. And I discovered something that I'm going to show you here. Let me get my Take Your Pick tool. And I'm going to poke these out here. And I want to show you something. You see how that is kind of two in one? And I found that the way I wanted to use it for this card today, I'm going to cut it in half, and it really, then I have kind of double the number of leaves. So I'll show you that. So those are the two types of leaves that we're going to use. And then I have a bunch of extras right here. So now we can go ahead and put our flowers on, now that we've cut them. And here they are, and here are our dimensionals. We're going to use dimensionals. And we're putting 3 flowers because we always want to put an odd number. It always is more pleasing to the eye. Use a Sharpie. Thank you. I definitely will. So I'm going to tuck one flower right around the knot there. And then I'm going to tuck the other one to kind of just fit right in with that. Right in there. Kind of under the knot. And let me see, also over the knot, kind of like that. And then we'll put the yellow one in the center, the Daffodil Delight. Okay, here we go. Let's put that one right there. And that's easy, right? Easy peasy. But look how pretty it looks already. Isn't that super pretty? So now what we're going to do is we're going to take our leaves and we're just going to clip them apart. And that gives us double the leaves. Because once you put them in, you know, you can see if you put them in this way, you're bound really to where the other side comes out. But this way you can just do anything you want. And I kind of like that. So all it takes is just a tiny, tiny bit of glue. And then you can just put these little guys anywhere you want. And because we used dimensionals on the flowers, they're lifted up enough that we can just slip the little leaves right under. That's one of my favorite things to do, is slip leaves and little things under when I've put the flowers or whatever on dimensionals, because it allows me so much more control. So let's see, let's put one over here on this edge. And we can just put as many as we want, as many or as few as we want. The other one I kind of loaded up. I don't think I'll load this one that much. I'll put one right in here. Okay. And then we can just tuck a few of these in if we want to. They're just a different little look. Just put a little tiny bit of glue on there and just tuck that in. And there's really no right or wrong. It's going to look great no matter what you do. Let's just get a little bit of glue on there. Okay. And I think I'm going to put this right in here. It looks a little empty right in that one spot there. So I'm just going to tuck that up under there. And no problem, because you don't see the glue, you don't see anything. Okay, now what we need to do is stamp our sentiment. And I wanted to show you, because I was thinking about Memorial Day, I wanted to show you in the perennial postage stamp set, there's a stamp that says Big Hugs. And I just thought, to me, that sounded really nice. It sounded like something that I would want to say to someone who had lost a person in the military, in the line of service. So I just chose that for my sentiment. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut around it. I looked at some of the circle dies and whatnot, and they just seem too big. I just wanted this to be kind of understated. So I'm just going to carefully snip all around this. And you know, big hugs just can go for so many things. But I think especially for something like this, if you have a friend who's remembering someone who's passed away, I think big hugs sounds really nice. I don't know about you guys. And then we're just going to put this up on a dimensional. A full-size dimensional fits right in there. At least it did before. Let me check and see. We might have to go to the little one. No, I think it's going to work. And we're just going to pop it right on here in the center of the Daffodil Delight flower. And then I wanted to show you a real quick thing, otherwise we're finished. A real quick thing to do to make a bow of linen thread. What you do is you just cut off a piece any length that you want and double it, and then double it again and tie it on to where we already have our knot. Okay, so we already have our knot in there, and all we're going to do is lay these loops. Get down there, guy. Right over there. I'm going to hold it with my little finger, and we'll just tie another knot, and that creates a real pretty bow. Look at that. And then I'm going to tie a second one to make sure it doesn't go anywhere. Just like that. Trim off those edges. Whoops. And poof, you're done. And look how cute. You can just spread the loops out a little bit without pulling. And that is it. That is an easy way to tie a bow. It really is. Especially if you like kind of full bows like I do. And we'll pull it down so it doesn't cover the sentiment. Isn't that just pretty? And let's get our pretty envelope that we stamped. I don't know. I don't really know anyone who's lost a person in the service. I'm sure I do, but I'm not aware of it. But I'm going to definitely keep this for a really special occasion. So let's come back now. There we go. Good to see you back. Today's card was fun. I love that design, and I think I'm going to be using it more because it's just an easy one to do, as long as I have my little measurements so I know exactly what I'm doing. So now we need to give away a prize, and the prize from last week is a quarter of a spool of the Petunia Pop ribbon. Thank you, guys. And it was a little one that I had left over. Somehow I made an extra one when I was doing the shares. And this is such a pretty color. I know you'll really like it. And it's kind of easy to mail, so that's another reason I wanted to choose it, because it can fit inside a card. So the winner, I think she's on here, is Ann Sawson. Ann, congratulations. You're going to win. You're going to get this. I will send it. I have your address, and I'll get it out to you. Thank you so much for watching me. And for next week, the winner is going to get this card, since I'll have two. So I'll give away this card next Friday. So if you put the word prize anywhere on YouTube or Facebook under this particular live, I will grab it and use the random number generator and choose a name. So I hope you liked today's card, and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful 3-day holiday. Relax and make some cards. Get in there and use your wonderful products. They're so beautiful. Have a great, great weekend.